Hi, my name is Julia MACABEO from group number 2, together with Orlando Luis BOLATON, Norman Dagdagan, and Reth Jeron. I will be introducing our design topic that is about a Blackboard eraser tracking system using ATmega328. The Blackboard eraser tracking system relies on GPS and GSM system that utilize the Global Positioning System, or known as GPS, to be able to acquire the precise location of a Blackboard eraser and where it is attached to. The GPS will require an input from the user in a form of an SMS or call, which is obtained by the GSM. Then microcontroller will now process this information, thus allowing the GPS to gather the location of it in a form of a coordinate with respect to longitude and latitude positioning. The microcontroller will now obtain this information from the GPS and send the coordinate by SMS to the user by the use of the GSM. We all know that some of our teachers, professor, or instructor uses Blackboard or whiteboard eraser when they are giving lectures and writing in the Blackboard or whiteboard. Sometimes, due to lots of discussion and writings, they tend to forget or misplace their eraser, in which they cannot erase the writings on the board. None of the existing research about GPS and GSM system considers using smartphones as an input method in obtaining the coordinates of the device. Most of the research conducted in this system uses desktop and laptop, while our device can run with any iOS and Android OS. Our research can also help the user visualize the location of the eraser with the help of default application in our smartphones, like for example Google Maps. We can easily visualize the location simply by getting the coordinates from the device and then input to obtain coordinates into the default application from the phone. The research also has an alarm system that would easily notify or locate the eraser from the perspective of the user. Our project's objectives is to be able to use SMS as an input in order to obtain the coordinates of the location of the eraser. To be able to use an alternative method of using an internet connection of sending the data gathered by the device. Our group aims to create a prototype that would use an SMS as an input and to enable the alarm attached to the eraser when a call to the system is made, thus using the input in order to enable the prototype to process the necessary information.
Hi, now I'm discussing about the review of related literature of a tracking system. According to the research journal entitled GPS GSM-based Vehicle Tracking and Alert System, they proposed GPS GSM-based tracking system wherein the transmission is in real time in order for them to ensure that the propagation delay is minimal. The transmission of information is done by TCP/IP connection over the internet using a GPRS modem. Based from this research, we have modified this research by adding an alarm system, and the transmission of information is done by SMS, both input and output. Wajira Kumara proposed a vehicle tracking system using GPS and SMS. This is a vehicle tracking system which does real-time tracking of vehicle. His developed system touched mostly on the software interface development and configuration hardware part, which were not built by him but were bought as a kit. This project is similar to us, but we have added a new features and have some few different functions. Let's discuss the methodology of our system. The figure shows the block diagram of the Blackboard eraser tracking system. The input is made up of 3.3 volts and 5 volts power supply to power on the system. The LED indicators for the GPS module and the GSM module is to check if there is a signal or if they are in a on state mode. The process starts when the GPS is turned on. The ATmega328 then will process all the inbound data from the GPS and GSM module, and also has the capability to manage other components attached to it. On the next figure, it shows the Blackboard eraser tracking monitoring system's general flow. First is the initialization of the GPS and GSM modules. The program will check the status of the GPS and the GSM. Then after initialization, the data processing the user will send a text message to the device. If the received message is on, the alarm will turn on. And when the message received is off, the alarm will turn off. Lastly, when the text message received by the device is located, the device will send the location of the Blackboard eraser.
Conceptual framework. So basically, the conceptual framework of the system discusses the input, process, and the output of the system. So in our system, which is a whiteboard or Blackboard eraser tracking system using ATmega328, the input of the system is the keyword that the user will send to the GSM module. So there are three keywords that will be accepted by the GSM module, that is the on, off, and locate. When the keyword is on, the buzzer will turn on. When the keyword is off, the buzzer will turn off. If the keyword is locate, it will send the longitude and latitude coordinates of the position of the eraser. The process of the system is the evaluation of the input message of the user. You can see here that the ATmega328 will process the data that the user will send. First, it will get the data sent by the user to the GSM module. The microcontroller will verify what operation does the user wants to perform. If the user wants to open or close the buzzer, the microcontroller will send signal to the buzzer to turn on or off repetitively. If the user wants to locate the location of the eraser, the microcontroller will send signal to the GPS module to get the longitude and latitude of the location, and it will send back the information to the user through the GSM module. The output of the system now is the buzzer and the reply message of the system. The buzzer will either on or off depending on the message sent by the user, and for the message will contain the longitude and latitude coordinates of the location of the eraser.
Hi, I'm Orlando Luis BOLATON, and I'll be discussing the conclusion found on a research design, which is a Blackboard eraser tracking system. So, after citing different findings and conducting various researches, through thorough analysis, we have developed a prototype. This prototype is able to process SMS. SMS, or a cellular message, is the input used for our research. Since it is cellular in nature, the scope of the design is on GSM, or Global System for Mobile Communications. It is processed using that scope. The output is the location of the said eraser. The output bases its technology on GPS or Global Positioning System. Although GPS is a technology dependent on the internet, or it is dependent on the TCP/IP connection. With that in mind, we have developed this prototype so that it will not be dependent on that connection, the Internet Protocol suite. The transmission and the process of receiving the information from the microcontroller to the user will be exclusively cellular, although The method of outputting the data is based on GPS.